Now at 11, COVID vaccine gratitude.
If they had not been vaccinated, I'm not sure if they would still be alive.
Why a family dealing with breakthrough cases is still glad they got vaccinated.
And it was an agonizing, horrible way to die.
Heat wave deaths in June, but what's different now as high temperatures return to Portland?
Kids' lemonade stands out. Homeless camps in.
Something's really wrong with this picture.
Anger and frustration in one Washington city over its priorities in public places.
Dazzling in the sky, a potential headache on the ground. The warning on the roads as the Oregon International Air Show returns this weekend.
And thank you for joining us here at 11 o'clock. I'm Dan Haggerty.
And I'm Laurel Porter. We start with growing concern over COVID-19 breakthrough cases. That's when a vaccinated person gets COVID anyway.
Health officials say they're more possible now than ever because of the Delta variant. Catherine Cook talked with a woman whose family knows that firsthand.
We were excited to be together.
Nikki Marienberg's family reunion had all the markings of something special.
We were coming from all different parts of the country to Sun River.
They stayed at the resort for 10 days in late June.
We had a great time. It was so nice. We're all hugging each other, right? Because it's been so long.
But 2 days after loved ones got home, Nikki says a cousin texted family members that she felt sick. Soon after, she tested positive for COVID-19.
It sort of snowballed, and we got text messages from other people in the family. Oh, actually, we tested positive, and we tested positive. And it was like one of those stories you hear on the news. Like, it just seemed not real. It didn't seem true.
In all, 21 family members either tested positive for COVID or showed symptoms. But most concerning of all, 13 of those family members were vaccinated, meaning they had what doctors call breakthrough cases.
So people really need to be masking up, and we need to take our safety really seriously.
It's a message echoed by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and state health officials. New data from the CDC shows the Delta variant is twice as infectious and more likely to cause breakthrough cases.
There were cases that happened from people who were fully vaccinated who became sick, who were able to infect others. So all of this science, all of this data that we're just now learning is forming the basis of the recommendations we're making now, that everyone in indoor public setting should wear a mask.
State Health Officer Dr. Dean Seidlinger says besides wearing masks, it's more important than ever to get vaccinated, as the vaccine may lessen the severity of breakthrough cases. Nikki, who did not get COVID, thinks of her mom. She and a few other family members who got COVID have underlying health conditions. Despite being vaccinated, they still spent some time in the hospital.
So if they had not been vaccinated, I'm not sure if they would still be alive.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Dr. Seidlinger, who you just heard from a moment ago, also touched on mask mandates today. He laid out reasons why Oregon doesn't have a new one in place. A lot of it comes down to compliance.
Even if they were a requirement, there are going to be people who say, I don't believe in that. I don't trust the data that you're providing me, and I don't think I'm going to get sick. I'm healthy. Why should I have to wear a mask? And so it's that balance between the pushback we are getting, honestly, on our current recommendations to what that pushback would be from a requirement.
Oregon Governor Brown told us she is not planning a new statewide mask mandate.
Now, that being said, the governor did announce all state employees will now need to wear a mask indoors, regardless of vaccination status. And if you will be visiting a state building, you're going to have to wear a mask too. As for schools, K through 12, those students will wear masks when they return to class in the fall.
Daily COVID cases continue to rise in Oregon, and many of them are in counties with low vaccination rates. Today, the state reported more than 1,000 new cases. Umatilla County has one of the highest infection rates in Oregon. Dr. John Hitzman is the Umatilla County Health Officer. Each day, he tries to persuade more people to get the COVID shot. Recently, it's been a losing battle.
You and others have all these great facts about why it not only makes sense, but could save your life to get vaccinated. And yet the numbers are not changing. What's that like for you?
Frustrating, disappointing. I'm saddened to think that we have a very, very safe, now well-proven technology that saves lives that is not being utilized to its fullest potential.
For context, we counted COVID cases from July 27th through the 29th. Umatilla, Jackson, Josephine, and Douglas counties had a combined 861 new cases during those 3 days. The vaccination rate in those counties ranges from 48 to 56%. Multnomah County, which has almost double the population of those 4 counties combined, only had 249 new cases in the same stretch. The vaccination rate in Multnomah County is 81%. Health officials say it's likely the number of new COVID cases and deaths among the unvaccinated will continue to grow.
Let's take a look outside now over downtown Portland on this warm summer evening. It did get hot today, not quite as hot as we anticipated. Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino joins us now with a quick look ahead of his first forecast.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. You know, the clouds that kept us a little bit cooler today, they're doing the opposite tonight. They're going to keep it really warm overnight tonight because they trap the heat and bring it on back down to where we just don't really get out of that much. Outside right now, we're still 84 degrees. That's our average high temperature for this day. So it's cooking out there, and it is mainly cloudy. And again, that's the big reason why it is so warm out there. Look at these numbers. 80s are common. Vancouver, Portland, Beaverton, Hillsborough, Forest Grove, all still in the 80s, upper 70s in Sherwood and down towards McMinnville. Salem still at 82, so it is just a really warm night unless you're at the coast where it's in the 50s and very comfortable. And what's interesting on this is the 24-hour temperature change map. Today we were running 3, 4, 5 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago, but tonight we're warmer than we were at the same time last night. Again, it's all about that cloud cover and what it is doing to our temperatures. Now, we have had some thunderstorms in western Oregon, but it was earlier this afternoon down in southern Oregon, down in the Southern Valley around Eugene. There's a band of showers rolling into the Cascades right now, so it's still possible that we end up with a sprinkle overnight tonight. It really won't cool us off that much, but we may get a few sprinkles coming off the Cascades. But the real story is that will be and is a very warm night tonight. We'll stay in the 70s. In fact, we had a record warm overnight low today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Scattered shower storms possible tonight, tomorrow morning, and even tomorrow evening again. But there's the potential for cooler and wetter than normal weather towards the end of next week. And that's the best news we've had in a long time, guys. Back to you.
Well, that's encouraging. Thank you, Matt. During the heat, state health officials are warning about something called cyanobacteria blooms in lakes and ponds, commonly known as blue-green algae. It can make you sick if ingested and can be deadly for pets. It also thrives in hot weather. There's already a health advisory at Eagle Ridge Park in Klamath County because of a bloom there. You should avoid swimming and other water activities in places where blooms are present. During the last heat wave, more than 100 Oregonians died. 3 of those deaths were at properties run by affordable housing provider Home Forward. Maggie Vespa went back to one of them to see if anything's changed this time around.
We asked people here at Peaceful Villa if Home Forward is frankly doing enough amid this extreme heat, and one woman just laughed and handed us this flyer.
The flyers posted on every door say the complex's air-conditioned community center will be open during business hours. Friday, that means closing at 4:30, the hottest time of day. Home Forward also posted flyers about local cooling centers and hot weather tips. We spotted 3 sporadically throughout the complex. Residents are fed up. They say Home Forward should be checking on people and helping them get access to AC. Many here are older and disabled, and they're mourning the death of a neighbor, an elderly man found dead in his unit after June's record-setting heat wave.
We spent, my neighbors and I, 2 hours watching the police, coroner, and other state officials prepare this man's body. And yes, I do think they are responsible to do the bare minimum.
Home Forward is Oregon's largest affordable housing provider. Of their 72 properties, 1 has central AC. A rep for the agency said they recently bought air conditioners for residents in need, and they sent out text alerts about this week's heat. The handful of residents we spoke to say they never heard about those AC units, and they never got that text. Maggie Vespa, KGW News.
Now, if you need a place to go, if you want to stay cool and you can't, there are cooling centers, and they will be available to check out at kgw.com. You can find a list there, or you can text the word HEAT to 503-226-5088, and we'll send you the list. There are about 60 locations. They have air conditioning, water, snacks, and some are also pet friendly.